Alright, so this is the take two for my intro because I just looked back and I articulated really shittily. And oh, another thing, right? So with my deep breaths, that's because I am nervous as fuck because I am talking in front of a camera which will potentially gain me thousands of views, and my brain cannot necessarily comprehend the amount of public scrutiny that I will have for the things I would say. So, but yes, I'm still going to make videos because I enjoy helping people, please. But, okay, let's start with the video. Anyway, so I've been around the block and there really isn't a clear answer of how to improve your looks. There really isn't a clear answer of how to Looksmax. Of course, there's small videos, short form videos where it's like, oh yeah, you can improve your eye area like this, you can improve your skin like this, but there really isn't a video where it's dedicated to giving you a general idea of how to Looksmax. Of course, there's some videos out there, but it's not detailed enough. So I'm going to try to make multiple. Anyway, but there really isn't a video where it incorporates all the details, all the methods of Looksmaxing that are theoretical but also that they work. So I'm implying the ones that have high theoretical validity but also the ones that actually work. Let's just say, for example, cutting. Well, cutting does work, it does make your face slimmer, but if you're genetically fucked to the point where you have fat pads where you cannot really reduce them, well, you kind of have to get buccal fat removal surgery or buccal fat removal surgery, which way you call it, alright? But that's besides the point. Now, I'll be moving on to my actual intro, so thank you very much. So I've been around the block on the internet and I haven't really seen any video really dedicated to look good. Of course there is, but not really a full-on video of targeting different aspects of your looks. Well, let's make this highly simplistic. Well, your looks consist of two main things. It is your facial ratios and your health indicators. So to make a good differentiation with an example, if you look at Brooke Shields, she has really good harmony, but now she's old, so her health indicators drag her down and now she's sub 5. Or you could go the other way around. Someone can have fairly average facial proportions, but if they were to make their skin look really smooth, they could look much better. That will increase your attractiveness by just a little bit, but I'd say that your facial proportions are more important, but your health indicators are also extremely important. So of course we got proportions and we got health indicators. Now, to elaborate on that, we have to go take a look at the holy trinity of looks. The holy trinity of facial aesthetics is your facial ratios, health indicators, and dimorphism. So you see, dimorphism is a little bit tricky, right? So it does incorporate facial ratios because let's just say if you have an elongated chin, right? It's long. Let's just say John Kotaharina, Sean O'Pry, Giga Chad, right? Those people, they have very tall, long chins. That's a very dimorphic trait of more bone mass being put here because, well, of hormones, of male hormones, and it's more of an androgenic look. And if you look at androgenic, his chin also grew a shit ton too, but maybe that's surgery. But again, it's still a manly look. So the whole point of this statement is that yes, a taller chin is a more manly dimorphic look, and the proportions back it up, but also the health indicators department, right? The health indicator department also backs this up too. If you have more of a rough skin, like my skin's smooth but it has a little bit of flaws here and there, but yeah, I did take some Accutane, but this isn't really about me. This is about you guys and how you can improve, but I'm giving you the base concept for you to really understand of how to Looksmax. So back to the main point. So if you have more of a rough skin, and this is seen in people like clavicular, or well, clavicular has more of a manly look, but you can say that his skin looks more rougher and less youthful and neotenous compared towards people who are like Damien Cater, Prime Chico Lachowski, or the pretty boy archetyped. Like if you look at me, right, my skin really isn't that great, but I still look a little bit feminine. But I guess I sort of retained some of my neotenous features from childhood. But again, now we got three things, right? Facial proportions, your health indicators, and your dimorphism, which incorporates your facial ratios and your health indicators. Because again, rough skin, that's more manly, that's more dimorphic if you take on more testosterone, more tren. So now to furthermore elaborate, well, there is also the features of the face, which does incorporate some facial attractiveness, let's just say hollow cheeks, more of a dominant eye area for men, or a feminine eye area for women. But again, a sort of dominant look on women does look hot and sexy. Pause. But like as you can see, my cheeks are hollowed out, but they're not too hollowed out for a woman to say, ew, he looks like an alien. For example, Jordan Barrett now. But prime Jordan Barrett was very appealing, but now he isn't. So I'm not trying to go for that super alien look. I just want to look unique to lessen my appeal, but to increase the attractiveness towards a smaller group of people. So, you know, that's more or less niche maxing, so that can play in your parts if you're not that good looking like me, because my facial ratios and proportions are kind of mid. I scored like a 69% facial harmony, so, you know, that's kind of brutal. But, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm trying to bump up my score just a slight bit by increasing my uniqueness and my features. So more of a bonier face, hollow cheeks, a sort of a neotenous face that is slightly noticeable, that will retain my youth. I'll go for a thicker neck too. So as you can see, my nose is big as fuck, so I cannot really go for that manghua look. But yeah, I just want to look kind of like Tyler Maher, masculine bone structure, but feminine health indicators. So to have that dominant but yet appealing look. But that's besides the point. That's my goal. Maybe your face is structured a slightly different way, where that cannot necessarily be incorporated into your looksmaxing regime. Right now I'm ranting on a little bit to gain a little bit more watch time hours. Sorry about that, but I hope you guys like the rant. But to continue on, also quick disclaimer, sorry, there's a lot of things to talk about and new ideas just pop up in my head to improvise. But if you are starting to looksmax, but you are really chopped in a way where your facial ratios are kind of screwed, well, you cannot really ascend that far. So if you look at me in my younger photos, right, I still have, you know, sort of a good amount of facial averageness. My facial ratios didn't really change. It's that my health indicators changed and I looked more bony. So, you know, I sort of like basically soft maxed, but also improved some of my facial ratios by making my face slightly wider. Anyway, but yeah, that's a quick disclaimer. So I just wanted you to know that you cannot drastically change your facial ratios. You cannot just automatically get a fucking bigger chin out of nowhere, unless if you get surgery, or I don't know, maybe, I don't know, androgenic with his bigger chin. Again, it might be surgery, but if it's just because of the chemicals that he has blasted, then if you have a very chopped chin, literally chopped chin, well, you could blast those and you could get a bigger chin. But I don't know if that is a surgical or non-surgical ascension. So yeah. So I've been editing and the video is around 10 to 11 minutes long. So I also apologize for just getting such a minuscule amount of information down just about harmony and the basics about the base of what looksmaxing really is. So I'm very sorry about that. That took 10 to 11 minutes. I'm very sorry. And right now I'm taking half a minute to explain, well, what's wrong. So, well, what my plan is going to be, I'm gonna split this video up into different sections and different parts. So I'm gonna be like, this is X part, X part, X part, X part. I don't know how long the parts are going to be, but this is going to be standard sort of LM education for how to really get into LM also. So, because, you know, now I'm not really all up to date with Looksmaxing posts because, well, I already sort of ascended, so I don't need even more further ascending, but new studies will come out, new methods will come out, new people will come out, and I may not be up to date, so but right now I'm gonna tell you guys what I do know, and there will be multiple parts of, at least for this video title to be in. So, but yeah, it's going to be a video title in these two symbols. It's gonna be part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and the final one will be complete. So also another thing is that another reason why I'm splitting this up into parts, it's to get more viewer retention, because if a video is too long, guess what? Your TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reel brain will not like that, and even without any of those external variables that will affect your attention span, there's still a limit to the human brain of how much it will give its own time to something before you get bored and you want to look at something else. So, but yeah. Also, physique check. And this side too. This chest is smaller, which really bugs me, but no, sorry about that, but I will be upping my content's quality in the near future, because, you know, I don't want to work too hard for views that will be very minuscule compared to my channel possibly in the future. So, you know, I might have to repost, so if I repost, please don't find it annoying. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to make it out here so people can actually have better lives. Thank you very much for listening. Peace out.